One is a hugely complex and technical sport. The teams are all seeking an advantage, and the job of the FIA is to ensure technical fair play. Let's meet some of the people whose jobs is to ensure just that, the scrutineers. Scrutineering is part of that fairness I've just talked about, Manuel. How does it work?
Well, we have very complex technical regulations, and we are here to monitor them and check that the teams are respecting them.
How many different areas of the car are you looking at?
Well, everything that has an impact on performance, of course. So it could be weight, aerodynamics, electronics, dimensions, everything that may have an impact on the performance of the car.
So give us an insight into your weekend. Give us a chronology. When does the work start?
Before the event, of course. All the teams are supplying technical information that we have to check before we get here, and also when we are here. We check all that information. Our aero team, for example, is checking CAD images. Our softies are checking the electronic submissions. And then we carry on when we are here with some random checks, for example, concerning safety before the cars are on track.
You look into all areas of performance. So can we break that down? Let's start with weight. What can you tell us about the weight of the car?
Well, the most important parameter for performance would be the minimum weight, 798 kilos, with the driver on board. That's the reason why you will see us also weighing the drivers when they come out from the car.
So if you were to sum up the role of scrutineering in Formula One, is it correct to call it the big brother of the sport?
Yeah.
You're looking at everything.
Yeah, it's some people also like to define us as the police.
Now, Manuel, what happens if you find an irregularity? What's the process after that?
The first thing would be that we need to make sure that there are no mistakes during the process and that we follow all the procedure properly. And then what the technical delegate, that is Joe Bauer, will make a report, and the matter will be discussed at the stewards room, because we are only reporting what we find.
Nuria, hi.
Hi, Tom.
So what is 3D measuring?
It's measuring something, but instead of using a measuring tape, we are using a laser system. And it obtains the coordinates of each point, so you can position it in the space.
And in a Formula One context, how do we use it?
We use it for two different aspects. The first one we do is we try to see if the cars are within the legality volumes. The legality volumes are the maximum dimensions of each part of the car. So when the car arrives, what we do is we create virtually around the car the volumes. And then with my T-probe, I go around the car, and the optical system, it knows where is this in respect to the volumes. And it knows if it's inside or outside of the volumes. The other part that we do is we scan the surface so we can compare it to the CAD model. And then the CAD model, we can check if the angles are correct, if the radius of each surface is correct.
How much detail can you go into?
It goes to microns, so it's really detailed. Do you want to scan your hand?
I would love to scan my hand. Can we go and look at my hand?
Yes, let's go and look at your hand.
Well, Nuria, other than me having a very wrinkly hand, it is extraordinary detail, isn't it?
For me, it's not very detailed. We have done it very quickly and not in good angles, so it's missing a lot of parts. Usually, you should have much better detail. But yes, this is the kind of all the wrinkles we can see. We can see also the wrinkles of the car.
So we're seeing a lot of carbon fiber shells on the car this year, and you're seeing all this, the layers, if you like, on the car.
Not the layers, but any small thing, even if they have some, the letters of the branding, I can't even see the letters.
We're now going to talk tyres. And to do that, we have to come into this office and chat to the FIA's tyre specialist, Chris de Groot. Chris, thanks for your time. I'm keeping my voice down because we've just had a session finished and everyone is working really hard. Chris, why tyres? Why do we need to scrutineer the tyres?
Main two reasons will be safety, okay, and fairness, really. Make sure everyone gets the same.
So, and how do you do that? What is the process?
Everybody gets the same amount of tyres, whether it be dries, wets or intermediates. And then we have to follow certain safety guidelines from the tyre supplier. So that's temperatures, pressures, which we do through the GMS.
You talk about the GMS. I'm looking at a screen here that's got so much information, none of which I understand. Can you talk us through what you're looking at?
Okay, so GMS, which is the garage monitoring system, what that shows us here is that you've got your driver number, the compounds, how many laps, set numbers. It tells me whether they're on heat, how long they've been on heat for. These are the TPMS IDs, temperatures, pressures, and that'll be for every tyre in the paddock.
How long have you had this much information at your fingertips?
We started developing this 2 years ago.
So it's all quite recent.
Yes.
And how did you monitor it before then?
With difficulty. This is an absolute godsend.
Yeah, I imagine it's a complete game changer. What about this screen here? What have we got here?
Okay, so tyre planner, as you see, it gives us the sessions, okay, and then it tells us the compounds of tyres that the car's gone out on. So this is what we use now, TPMS. This sends a pulse out every 5 minutes or so, and this sort of gives us our information for the GMS. It also sends the signal then to the single ECU on car, and that's what gives us our information on the tyre planner. So it all comes from one tiny little sensor.
How much does it weigh?
Not a lot.
No, it's incredibly light, isn't it?
Yes.
So much information coming from something so small and light.
Yeah.
Chris, thank you for that explainer. It was fascinating. I can see you're busy, so I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
Thanks again.
Very much.
See you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye. Now, I know what you're thinking. Since when in Formula One have we been covering cars in effectively bedclothes? And Matt, I think you've got the answer to that.
Well, hopefully, yeah. No, it's covers going on is not necessarily a new thing. We've been doing it a while, but it's a very clear indication to everyone that the cars are now in Parc fermé conditions, which means qualifying's finished. We've weighed all of the cars. We've released the cars back to the teams in their garage. They then have a period of 2 hours from when qualifying finishes to complete a list of works that is permitted within the sporting regulations. And then after 2 hours, the covers go on, and that's it. They're done, and we come back tomorrow and race.
And that is it for the rest of the weekend, until after the race.
In terms of changing parts on the car, yes, the covers will come off on Sunday morning, and they're allowed to do their standard pre-race job list in order to get the car ready. So that includes things like putting fuel in the car, carrying out any safety checks, which may include bleeding the brakes, stuff like that. The idea with Parc fermé is the car that they qualify is the car that they race, and this is part of it.
How do you know that no one is working on the car in the middle of the night?
It's a bit like Big Brother's watching, but basically all of these overhead pods have an overhead camera, and we have access to all of the teams, and we can see on one screen what's going on. So when the cars are covered, it's very easy to spot somebody wandering around an empty garage. And then we also have a night shift security who have access to that same screen. So if they see anything untoward, they can come down to the garage.
So there's always someone watching.
There is always someone watching, yeah.
I see. Welcome to the world of the FIA. Let's end this episode by looking at the future of the FIA, and Will is F1 Junior Scrutineer.
Yeah.
First of all, what is the job?
The job is huge. The job is the best job in the world for a start. And yeah, the job is just learning, compiling, trying to expand my mind, learning everybody's different tasks, and hopefully one day being able to have a full-time role myself doing their tasks. I do everything from engines. We're doing power sealing engines, checking the gearboxes, checking the ratios, some scanning every now and then, always weighing the cars, and then even down to the sporting stuff, like sometimes we parking the cars for Parc fermé as here now, and organising this. It all needs doing. It's so big, the event, you don't see half of what you see on the TV that what the FIA do.
So you're trying your hand at everything, but
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about your journey, if you would. Just also tell us how old you are and how you got to this point.
Yeah, so I'm 22 years old from the north of England, so it's not often for a north of England person to get to here. So I started, I didn't know what to do when I left school. I knew I wanted to do something in motorsports, but it was easy for me at the time to become a joiner. So I did joinery and I did my university degree, still am doing my university degree online in mechanical engineering. So that's to do with this job as well alongside, which is quite hard. From there, we ended up building the garages for the FIA, and then from there showed interest, showed willing, and eventually the FIA, after me begging them for ages, they offered me a job. And yeah, I'm here now and loving it.
For lots of you at home who are thinking, how can I get a job in motorsport? There are many different avenues, but if there's one bit of advice you can give, Will, what is it?
Everyone's way is different. My way is certainly unorthodox. Nobody's the same. I think a degree is pretty essential. Experience is always good. Other categories, it's never bad to turn down an opportunity, even doing a weekend wherever. But volunteering, we have marshals. There used to be marshals, now work in the race control of the FIA. Just everywhere is different. Just don't give up. You'll definitely get there if you believe in it and want it enough, for sure.
There you go, Mr. Tenacity right here. Well, Will, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you've learned something from this episode at home.